everybody, this is a complete guide to obtaining the pot in the latest Megabonk update. I made this tutorial because the challenge can be extremely frustrating, especially for casual players who are not advanced speedrunners or expert B-hoppers. Most existing videos are very brief and do not fully explain the process, so this guide is intended to be clear, thorough and practical. As of today, the challenge was made slightly easier. You no longer need to collect all pots and chests before the timer reaches 0. You only need to do so before you die. However, this still leaves very little margin for error, since the final ghost can one-shot you unless you evade repeatedly. The challenge remains difficult. After nearly 200 attempts, here are the key strategies that worked. First, go into the shop and refund both your tome slots and weapon slots. This reduces the item pool and increases the likelihood of getting only what you need during the run. Next, go to your unlocks and deselect all tomes. You may optionally keep the Chaos Tome, as it can provide useful stats, but it is not required. I completed the challenge with no tome selected, relying only on the Speed Tome. You can also pair speed with evasion, but evasion only helps in limited situations and may only buy you an extra second or two at the end. For weapons, only take the Dexecutioner and the shotgun. If necessary, bone or bow can be taken after rerolls. These are only used to control ghosts and prevent disruptions to your movement. For items, only green items matter. You want as many socks as possible, so deselect every green item except socks. Before starting runs, there are 2 critical preparations. First, practice B-hopping. This challenge cannot be completed by walking and jumping alone. Practice hopping and sliding until it feels consistent. There are many tutorials available if you are unfamiliar with the technique. Second, enable the shrine counter in the settings. This shows how many pots and chests are required before the run begins. You can also reduce the restart hold time by adjusting it via the console. I use 0.4 seconds. When you pass through the first archway, check the timer and shrine count. The timer is tied to the number of pots, not just map size. For efficiency, only attempt runs with 15 to 19 pots. If you want to be more selective, aim for 15 to 18. If you see 20 or more pots, restart immediately. You should also restart immediately if any of the following happen. You miss a ladder or fall midway. You get ghost trapped. You fall off a ledge. You encounter certain elevator shaft layouts. You miss a pot and have to backtrack. Memorization is critical. Every room has both normal and mirrored layouts, and you must know the location of every pot and chest in each variation. This alone may take 40 to 50 runs. Once memorized, determine the fastest path through each room. It can be useful to deliberately run rooms without trying to win, solely to test different routes and optimize movement. A few important movement tips. You often do not need to fully climb to a pot or chest. You only need to get close enough to interact. In many rooms, a small jump or passing jump is sufficient. The order in which you collect pots and chests matters. Plan routes to avoid unnecessary backtracking. Use lava strategically. Lava is not lethal unless you are already low on health, and in some cases, jumping into lava and exiting at the right time is faster than climbing or walking. Spring pads are stronger than they appear. If you time your jump correctly, you can launch significantly higher. This is required for certain rooms and can save substantial time. Climbing every ladder in these areas will result in failure, and some locations are only reachable with a spring pad boost. Beyond this, success comes down to a little RNG and lots of repetition. The run where I completed the challenge actually had a poor start, but room knowledge and optimized movement made up for lost time. I completed it on an 18-pot seed. Thanks for watching, and good luck!